Recently, a friend of mine urged me to read a book. She said to me, if I'd read this book 10 years ago, I would have rebuilt my life differently. So dutifully, I added the book to my list of books to purchase. I think it was number 48 or so. In her frustration, she sent me her login details to her Audible account so I could listen to the book. And the next week, I was in horrendous traffic on my way to Bermondsey, one of our campuses, and I decided just to put it on and play it in the car. Out of this book, I wrote 15 pages, and I asked myself, I've written 10 essential questions that I will sit with every month and review for myself. This book is called Essentialism by Greg McKeown, and it is the disciplined pursuit of less. The disciplined pursuit of less. In essence, what it is less but better. Note, better, not worse. Less but better. But you know, there is an art, isn't there, to doing things better. To find a life of meaning, to be in control of our lives, to not feel overwhelmed in our lives, there is an art to do it. There's a woman who was referenced in the book who works with the dying, and she was asked what people's greatest regrets were at the end of their lives. And she said that it was they were not true to themselves. They were pulled in far too many directions. And the truth is, for most of us, we are in the undisciplined pursuit of more. Why? Because there are so many choices. We cannot decide or manage our choices. We forget what is important and things become diluted. And in essence, what happens is this, is that we spend our energy in a million different directions, pushing a million different things 1 inch forward, instead of allowing one meaningful thing to blossom in our life. Priority for 500 years was a singular concept. It was only in the 19th century that priority became priorities. Priorities. And when we have many first priorities, actually they become undiluted and they lose their impact. In fact, they lose meaning in our lives. So in our remaining moments today, I just want to review some of the things in the book. There is so much gold. I would highly recommend the book to you. But some of the things that I've applied to my own life. The first one that the book really recommends is that you take the time to think, to explore, and to reflect. To think, to explore, and reflect. I have now a monthly date with myself, 2 hours every single month, where I think, I explore, and I will take a step back to evaluate my life. It can feel a little bit indulgent, but actually what it does is it makes you in control of your day and your life, instead of your life and your day has been in control of you. During that time, or in this time that you set aside for yourself, these are some of the things that you'll go through. What is my essential? What is my one essential? And to make it practical, to speak the unspoken, if you like, my one essential would be that I am a communicator. Whether it is with one person, whether it was with many, whether it is verbal or whether it is written, I am a communicator. That is my essential. So I've been accepted to do a master's degree, which I'm terrified about, because I don't have an undergraduate. But it serves my essential, so I will therefore do it. Toastmasters, is there time for Toastmasters in my life? Of course there is. Why? Because it serves my essential. Do I need a day off every single week? I absolutely do, because I will never be able to serve my essential. Is my family and part of my essential? It absolutely is. So what is your essential? What serves your essential? Next, I need to eliminate my non-essentials. McKeown says, you cannot overestimate the unimportance of practically everything. So I need to eliminate my unessentials. It is either a clear yes, or it is a clear no. I don't want to get stuck with 70%ers in my life. I only want 90%ers in my life. So I had a friend who asked me to be on the board of her trustees. I've known her for 15 years, and it's meaningful work. It is not part of my essential. It was a clear no. I had 3 dinner dates. There were people I saw casually, oh, hello, let's have dinner. But you know, I'm not helping them. We're not friends. I'm not going to see them for 2 years again. I cancelled all 3. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. As Stephen King, the novelist, says, he says, kill your darlings, kill your darlings, kill your darlings, even if they took you a year, a month, or a week to write. Kill your darlings so that you get stuck, so that you don't get stuck with the non-essentials, only with the essentials. So simply ask yourself, what is essential? And eliminate everything else. If you don't prioritize your life, somebody else will. And if you do not set, and if you set limits, this is the way that you can become limitless. So the key thing is trade-offs. Trade-offs. What is the trade-off? If I'm going to do a master's, I can't simply carry on doing everything else in my life. I've had to think, what am I going to trade off? So I've had to trade off that I will not take a role in the Toastmasters Club. I simply cannot do that. I've had to say no to being on a board of trustees. Jim Collins, who wrote a book From Good to Great, says, there is no solution, there is only trade-offs. The non-essentialist will say, how can I fit it in? How can I do more? So to conclude, the non-essentialist will ask himself, I want to be all things to all people. How can I fit this in? All of it's important. Whereas the non-essentialist will say less is better. What are my trade-offs? The non-essentialist will be in the undisciplined pursuit of more. I'm going to, how can I fit it in? I'm going to say yes to everything. I'm going to react. Whereas the essentialist will be the disciplined pursuit of less. He will say no, except to the essentials. The non-essentialist gets to live a life that is overwhelmed and out of control, where the essentialist gets to live a life that is in control with joy and meaning. And we only have a short bit of time left, so I want to ask you today, what are your essentials? Eliminate everything else.